Good morning, students. Now in this video first I will be discussing the home assessment which I had given the first type of pattern question. Clear. Now in this I'll discuss the question which I had given as a home assessment. I had given already a video on the first type pattern. Now let's see how we solve this based on the video which I had given you all. Okay, the class write a program to print the following patterns. Okay, these are the things to do. Two pattern questions are given. Okay, this we need to print it using your for loops. Okay. Okay, first of all we know we start with the class name. Let's say pattern, class pattern, and void pattern 1, void pattern 2. Two methods will make where we'll be solving the particular pattern questions in each method. Okay, so we start with the class pattern. The pattern questions generally the brackets are empty. Okay, here because we don't have any input to be taken by the from the user. Okay, so we'll be writing void pattern 1 where I'll be solving the first pattern. Okay, now if you see here, before also first I told you we need to make the table. Okay, clear. We'll make the table for question number 1. If you see, if you want to make the table, how will you make? How many number of lines we have in number 1? We have total 1 2 3 4 5 also. Okay, total 5 number of lines we have from 1 to 5. So I'll write 1 to 5 numbers, that will be your I. So since we had 5 lines, number of lines, so I is denoting in the first type as the number of lines. How we understand this is first type? Because same value is repeated in the whole pattern. If you see, all hashtag is left given in all the places in each line, or at the rate is given. If we had, in case of this, instead of this, if we had the type of pattern given below, I have written 2 patterns. You can see in line 1 we have 1, then 1 2 1 2 3. Next one you have 1 2 2 3 3 3 4 4 4. So this will be second and third type question which we will be discussing in the next video. Okay, so now you can understand what is the first type. First type means what? All the values in each line is same, then only to the first type pattern question which will be the logic will be applying now. Okay, which we have done in the previous video also. Okay, so to understand that this is first type, see that in each line we have the same value. Now after that we start with the table. Okay, I am rubbing this the other examples. So in the table the values of I are given 1 2 3 4 5. Number of lines we have 5, so from 1 to 5 written, that will be your, based on this I'll make the I loop. Okay, if you want you can make it now only. What is the loop? For loop will start for int I equals to 1, I less than equals to 5, I plus plus. From top to down we'll see for making the I loop. Clear? So my loop, for loop will be, so our I loop is int I equals to 1, I less than equals to 5, and I plus plus. Now for J loop, inside this we have 2 loops. Remember, pattern questions will be having loop inside loops will be having. Okay, now in the second line what to write for the for loop J. Now for that you will see how many times I need to print. If I take first value of I as 1, it means I am talking line number 1. Okay, line number 1, see line number 1. So in line number 1 I need to print 1 time, I have to print 1 time. So if I see the table, the first value of table is 1. So if I want to print 1 time, means I have to count from 1 to 1. So the first table added in the table, the right hand side I wrote 1. Okay, if you see this one now, from 1 to 1 time the loop will run. From 2 to 1, 2 3 1, 2 and 1, 2 times the loop will run. 3 to 1, 3 to 1, 3 times will run. Okay, 4 to 1, 4 times will run. 5 to 1, 5 times will run, and will print the value of hash. Okay, so the J loop will be what? The J loop will be at the box which I have mentioned there. I will write something that, seeing that I will make the J loop. What is the J loop? So in the table, in the left column are the values of I, and the right column everything is 1. So what I can write in the box, I have to write I hyphen 1. Clear all of you? Understood? Now what we need to do, whether it is plus or minus, for seeing that you see from right side, I mean towards right side, or from left to right. If you see what is happening, If you are confused with the first value of the table, that is 1 to 1, I'm not getting what is happening, then from 2 to 1, if I have to go from 2 till the value of 1, what do I need to do? Whether I need to subtract or whether I need to plus. I have to do subtract. If I want to go from 3 to 1, again I have to subtract 3, then 2, then 1. It will decrease by 1, 1, then it will reach up to there. Yes or no? So, you can see here that the values of I to 1, if I want to go, I have to do the j loop. What? J will be minus minus. Okay. Now based on this, based on that box, I will make the j loop. So j loop will start from I till 1 j minus minus. Clear all of you? Now in the j loop, like I loop in the first pattern is denoting the number of lines, the j loop will be standing for printing the value. What do I need to print in the pattern? I need to print hash. Okay, I need to print hash. So I'll write system.out.print hash. After that, you will close the for loop of j, and then you will write SOP-ln, then close the for I loop, and then the main the void pattern 1 has been closed. Okay, clear? This is how you do first pattern. Okay, to understand in the depth, you can refer to the previous video which I had given you. Okay, you can understand, made you understand that video. Clear? Understood? Now next one, number 2, I have to make again the table first. Okay, then we start for the second method. I'll make void pattern 2. Okay, now let's make the table for the second question. If I want to make the table, how many number of lines? First I loop. How many number of lines we have? 3 lines. So what you write? I value is starting from 1 to 3. So once you have written the I values, we make the loop. The loop will be what? Will be starting from 1 till going till 3. We have to see downwards for seeing the I loop. I less than equals to 3 and I plus plus. Okay. After this, how many times I need to print in the first line? Now I have to, for making the j loop. I loop is over. For making the j loop, I need to fill that box. For that, first I need to fill the right hand side. What number I need to fill in the right hand side? How will you know? First value of I is 1, and the first line I have to print 3 times. So you have to count from 1 till how much I'll count. I'll print 3 times. From 1, if I count 1, 2, 3. So if I count from 1 till 3, okay, 3 times will be printed in the first line. When I go from 2 to 3, 2 times it will be printed. From 3 to 3, only 1 time it will be printed. Clear? So the j loop fill the box. Now this left side is I value, right side is 3. Now j loop whether plus or minus, how will you know? From the right side, if you from left to right, if you see from 1 to 3, if I want to go from 1 towards 3, from the right side I am seeing the first line, I wrote 1-3. It means from 1 to 3 if I have to go, from 1 towards 3 if I want to go, I have to count how many times. You have to do plus or minus. We have to do plus plus. So I 1, 2, 3 I have to do plus plus. So I will be what? Sorry, j will be what? J will be j plus plus here. Clear all of you? Now seeing the box of the second table, I will make the j loop. J loop will what? J loop will start from 1 to 3. Sorry, I to 3 and j plus plus. Clear? Now what do I need to print here? I need to print at the rate. So system.out.print@. Clear? And then close the j loop, then SOP-ln for going in the next lines, and then void pattern 2 is closed. Okay, clear? This is how you will make the pattern question. After you have closed the void pattern 2, close the class. Clear all of you? This is how you solve pattern questions of the first type. Clear? When everything is same in each line, this is how you solve. First, the number of lines will denote the first column in the table. Then right side will put values seeing the number of times the values are repeated in the first line. Then the box will be made down. Based on the box will make the j loop. Clear? And based on the first column, which I wrote the I values, the number of lines, that will make the I loop. Okay, and inside the j loop will print the values after the SOP-ln. Clear? Understood? This is how you do first type of pattern questions. Okay, now see the next in the next video I will be discussing the second type of pattern questions. Okay, thank you. See you in the next video.